Stared at too long. I don't mean to do that. What do you think about here where we lower our, Genghao is lowering his hand, your hand is going with it, and your elbows moving at the same time, like a big single structure versus
Yeah.
leaving elbow up or lagging the elbow or pulling the elbow down a little bit. And maybe it would be you leading Genghao. Maybe you're trying to get that hand back. So you bring the elbow and you pull it down.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, which leads your hand, which leads Genghao's hands.
Okay.
Because right now it just looks like a very nice dance. You guys are all really organized, and it ought to be something where you're more pissed off and more unhappy about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Cool.
Okay. For BYC 10, should I publish for the compass?
No. Have you been seeing any of the emails about BYC 10?
No, so far no.
Okay. I'm not going to waste your evening telling you about it entirely, but I'll draw you a quick picture so that you can see what's going on.
Okay.
They are going, oh, that won't work. No, sorry.
Yeah, actually, oh yeah, I thought of lifting higher to match the position. Yeah, something like that. Oh.
So you saw this box that the client now wants?
Nope.
Okay, so what I've drawn is a red box. It's going to be a mechanically carved into the side of the spaceship like a door handle for your car, right? So it's going to be part of the spaceship's mechanical structure. And the alien knows where that is and will be able to slice his finger through it in the organic fashion that you are used to doing it in, okay?
Okay.
So all you're doing is sitting around waiting for this new red box to be made in probably a little bit of modeling, because I think they're actually going to try and model it. And if not, it'll be certainly done in comp. Some sort of prep will happen. They'll give it back to us, and then you're going to wave your hand through there again. When you do wave your hand through there, it's going to be much more organic than you already have done it before.
Okay.
You know, we're not going to try and stay really centered. You'll just, be somewhere inside the V, as if you know how to open your special door through the special V shape.
Yeah, okay, sure. So I just hang on that?
I think so.
Yeah, but should I publish a current, because the previous version was the old rig, so now it's a new rig with fatter fingers.
You got fatter fingers, but now you're not using the tighter V. If you want to resurrect one of your other V shots, that's doing this.
Yep.
And not the offset one much longer than the other thing, that would be fine. But don't use this big, Verizon V thing any longer, on account of the clients have seen it and they want this really registered V now out of the mechanics of the spaceship. So you're going to be working within that anyway.
Okay.
So if you can pull one of those old ones out and put in fat fingers, it'd be great.
Okay, sure. I will. Okay, thank you.
Okay, see you.
See you.
Hello. Hi, this is Kristen.
Kristen Solid?
Am I next?
Do you want to be?
Kinda.
Kinda. How do you spell your name again?
What do you mean? K.
I'm just trying to be obstinate and cause you consternations, because I know you want to go play with your cats.
Or sleep.
So you've been thinking about the 320, I take it?
Yeah, let's see. What did I do today? 320, I worked on the hit, and I added facial, and I started putting in fingers and toes, but I need to do another pass on that. I didn't finish.
Yeah, it looks like Nishant has some of the new aliens and some not.
Okay. In DFA?
in DFA.
The two new ones are good, right? But the other ones are old, I'm assuming.
DFA 001, which is his first shot where we see the hands, right?
Yeah, there's only two, that and 20 or something.
Oh yeah, so those definitely had the fat fingers in them.
Thank you, that's all we needed.
You could tell by the shoot, right?
I could not tell by the shoot because look at Kristen's fingers here. Those are clearly big fat sausage fingers. And if you go to the DFAs and just scrub through them, you'll see that because they're going away from camera, I wasn't quite sure if they were new or not.
Yeah, it looks to me like some of his shots.
Well,
like
it'd only be the two.
30, he has rig 35 in, and 20, DFA A1, but I don't see it for DFA 001, so we'll have to check with them.
Okay. All right. Back to Kristen. Hey, so Kristen, I think it's actually good that you're not bouncing way off screen right anymore.
Okay.
It feels a lot more realistic. So without traveling screen right, you sort of end up with some screen time, some hang time, right? Here. So we once had, and maybe it's time to reintroduce it, we used to have two beats here. Bam, hurts them. And the next one is second, bam, hits them. You know, the hit on the guy's leg and then the smack of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
It might be nice for you to put some of that back in. That was from a long, long time ago that we had that. And what I'm thinking is not any new body work at all. It's just when you hit him here, his head would react. So first one, second one.
When the head would react when he's being tripped?
And well, hit, you know, the hit on his shoulder or on his back, like Gang Hao. Because right now, Gang Hao's hand is behind him, upstage of him, and his head is okay. He's still not being, smacked yet. He's still not being smacked yet. And now he's being smacked and forced forward. If you could put anything in there that said the impact of that hand has hit his upstage side, which I'm thinking is just the head going.
Okay.
It's a really simple thing for you to do, but I think it'll end up having a lot of value for the punch, the impact of it, you know?
Okay.
Ruth, you like this better? I think I like this better.
Than the previous one.
Yeah, he's not flying so far screen right.
Yeah, it seems like it's a little bit slow in the middle of the air, like you said.
And maybe some of that will speed up a little bit, Kristen, when you get that second hit. Might put a little bit more energy in there. Otherwise, pull a frame out of this section in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should start to, well, we're going to show these soon, right?
I would love to show the MCAs, maybe, and GFCs, which ones we will have by mid next week, if possible.
And let me look at the schedule. Okay, so August 17th, which is not this Friday, but the following Friday. That's when we're supposed to be showing MCA by, but we should try to show it. We're supposed to be getting a temp approval on it.
Okay, you know what? Let me take a look at the MCAs tomorrow and see whether or not there's enough comfort, if I have enough comfort level to send a handful of them at least. We could send a handful of them.
Yeah, the trouble is that there are certain shots that haven't been worked on at all.
Right, that's what I mean. We would only send the handful that we feel good about.
And we need to start moving on those ones.
Right.
So I'm thinking about 250 and 251 and then Sam shot.
Sure, of course.
Those are the big ones that have been stuck for a long time with no movement on them.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Okay, so I'll try and I'll see if I can't find a meaningful group of them for later this week.
Yeah.
Are they going to cut the one after this? Is that what your email said? The shot after this might be cut?
Yeah, they
It's
are.
on hold.
It's probably omitted, they said.
Oh, that's such a great shot.
Yeah, it really is. And to me, it's really a useful moment because it says that they've captured him again.
Yeah, why would they do that?
It's such a good personality shot too. It's like we're right there with the alien, connecting with the alien.
Right. Well, we don't want to connect with the alien. Or we don't want to know his personality. And we don't want him in there. So anyway, who knows? They might come back. They've also asked us if we could do a dance sequence.
Cool. I love dance sequences.
You joking?
Sign me up when that happens.
I sent this.
To who?
To the client, saying we could do this.
Did you put music to it? That would be so funny.
Oh, I could. That'd be super easy.
Who did that?
This is mocap.
Oh, okay.
One of our mocap artists was an actual dancer. Actually, two of the mocap artists, which we had like a half a dozen of them, two of them were, one's a dance instructor who did like this kind of wacky, ballroom stuff, and the other guy was a dance professor at some university. And that guy moved like a jaguar. He was so beautiful. Didn't really work for our purposes, but man, and he could do the karate thing. He was great. So anyway, Kristen, keep going.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you. Impact, impact, impact. Let's see the beat on the leg, see the beat on the smack, and pull some frame or two out of the hang time. Do you have a 220 you want to look at?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's start with this one, shall we?
No,
that's not
I'm
nearly
sorry.
as bad
I
as
put that.
thought.
Oh, yeah. Did you show that today, or what happened?
No, I'm just seeing that for the first time right now.
Oh.
It doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought it was going to.
Well, I have sent it back twice, so it's gotten better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put in a ticket again for it. I don't know.
But you definitely see some, like this frame is definitely jacked.
You fixed the sticking pose part, Kristen.
What do you mean?
In this. I'm looking at the animation now.
Oh yeah, I worked on that.
So let me ask you, Kristen, in what's on my screen, the lower left-hand corner, that is more or less the field of view of your shot, right? And you've made it look correct, but we know his hand is actually towards camera.
Yes, and generally, if you run across a frame like this, it's because I go back and forth, but I'm trying to keep the alien's head in a nice line, but the hand in that frame kind of went like that.
Right,
so
of course.
What I do is I try to line up the pinky and the palm on the same place on the alien's head, but as you can see, there are certain frames where I can't do that.
Right. Okay, this is super useful for us tomorrow.
And then I'm also nervous too about having the hand go inside the head. So I try to avoid that, even if it affects the animation. But
no problem.
I don't know. I definitely go back and forth. I do a pass and make sure it's lined up with the hand, and then I do a pass, and then it's jittery, and then I go back and I go back and do the hand thing. So it's
no, this is super good to see all these POVs. So
yeah, it's better to leave it and not spend a whole load of time noodling it until we find out what we're going to make a proper strategy.
Okay.
Well, we already can see things like if you look at the upper right-hand frame, his hand is planted nicely on the alien head. We know your alien head is totally arbitrary, but then it pops to the left, then back to the right.
Yeah.
We know that's just a jacked up track.
Yeah.
So this is great, Kristen. Thanks. We'll attend to your needs for this tomorrow.
Yeah. I did upload it to shot 320. That was a mistake. So if you can't find it, that's where it is.
I'm just going to look for the pretty pictures with the red.
Okay.
We should remove all numbers and replace them with colors.
I can do that, but I don't think that you'll agree with my colors. Neither will
We have different colors, that's the problem.
Well, all words should be replaced with sound, so. This is feeling way better. It's quite good. You're doing good.
Oh, good. Okay. I did do a facial pass, like an eye line. And I haven't done any fingers and toes. I thought maybe I could wait to do that until you showed the client.
I'll make sure that they see this by the end of the week.
Okay. Is there anything anything further you'd like me to do on this one before you send it?
No, not really.
Okay.
It's got everything it's supposed to got.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And you still have them floating off the ground quite a bit, right?
4 units. I don't remember what the units are in this show. Is it centimeters?
Centimeters.
Centimeters?
Yeah.
Oh, he's only 4 centimeters then. That's not that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks. It's going to be great, and I'll. I'm required to have a number of things to send at a time. There's like a limit to how little they will watch, so I can't.
Well, hopefully you'll send 320 too, but I'll work on that one more.
Oh yeah.
Better.
Oh, absolutely. 320 is in good shape. There's a lot of them that are in really good shape for a client review where they can tell us what they're thinking. There's no doubt.
290 as well, but the problem is the shots around it are not.
Right.
It comes off the shelf and scrambles and then runs. And actually, it leads right into Kristen's shot, so you could.
Yeah. Well, so the new system that they are requiring for when we submit, where I put burn-ins on the bottom. I don't know if you guys ever looked at any of the footage I sent them. You don't care. Anyway, we have a way to show all of the shots now in a system that they have agreed to abide by as long as I do all the work. And in doing that, we end up being able to show them more stuff. Okay?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that means, I think that means I can maybe start MCB 10.
That would be excellent.
Okay.
I know how excited you are about that.
Like a day or two of work, right? Because you just have to do a few finger cleanups and then.
That's nothing. She should have that done right away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it's just one evening, probably.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, if you are lacking memory of all the notes from the last round from the client, make him zigzag, make him not zigzag. He should be zigzagging. Maybe you should zigzag or not zigzag. Oh, how about no zigzagging when he zigs? Remember that? Yeah,
I have them all listed, and I also have the link to that day's dailies.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'm going to rewatch the dailies. Sometimes I love it that Min Hui records the dailies. Sometimes I just watch it, and then I do the note, and then I watch a little more, and then I do that note. It's really great.
Okay, excellent. But if you need something, you know where to find me.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Right. Wow, somebody watches the recordings.
I absolutely do.
That's amazing. Are they as embarrassing as I imagine they are?
I'm embarrassed for myself because sometimes I don't make sense.
I hate listening to myself. Oh God. I have a few where Jitu's showing me stuff and I'm making comments.
Excellent.
But I don't know. It's good too because you can see things about yourself and how can you do better at dailies, right? How can you be clearer? Like now that I know that I can't ramble on like I'm doing right now. Okay, good night.
See you, bye.
Bye.
Okay, Becky.
Yay! I worked on MCA 41 again to see if I didn't work on this because there's a bunch of shots that are due before this. But I'm going to work on this tomorrow because I want to get more of it done. But
Okay.
today I worked on this to try to add a little facial and to do that more turn at the end that Ruth asked for. Oh, this isn't it. I don't think this is the latest, is it?
I'm looking at 21. Is
Yeah,
it
I'm looking at V12 T21.
Was it shot today?
yesterday. So you must have
Heck.
somehow named it differently, or let's see. It didn't come up even in your smart dailies. Yeah, so the latest version is 21 that we have, and it's from yesterday.
Should I shoot it again? Or
just find the file and upload. Do you know how to upload manually without shooting?
well, the file already exists, so all I do is resubmit it.
You can do a plus add a version, but you just have to make sure that you put in the task and all the information into the fields, right? When you're submitting in Shotgun? Or are you going to do it from Taco?
I'm going to do it from Taco.
Okay. It's quicker to just do it from Shotgun if you know how.
I don't know how.
I can show you.
Oh, okay.
But we don't need to do that now. I can show you another time. If you have the file open, it's quick to do it from Taco, but if it's not open, it's annoying to have to open the shot.
I don't have it open, but I can open it quick enough.
Okay, well, if I can share my screen, I can show her how to upload.
Yeah, and is it actually MCA? Oh, yeah.
MCA, yeah. Okay, what are we gonna do?
I'm just gonna show you how to just upload directly to Shotgun. So if you're in the Smart Dailies playlist, so that's this page here you can go to.
Okay.
I'll just put that into Slack for you. But you can go, you just go plus version, drag and drop your file in, put a description. You're going to make sure you put the name that you have.
Yeah.
You already have it named correctly. So task, you're going to want to put Anim, and you'll have to pick the correct shot here in the pull down. But if you have already put in the version name, I think it kind of finds actually in here. You can put in, is it MCA?
Yes, 41, it should be.
41, yeah, so when you put that in and then you put in Anim, it'll find MCA, right?
Okay.
So as long as you do all this and this, then that means that it'll go into the sequence.
Okay.
The rest of the stuff doesn't matter that much.
First frame.
First frame, you don't have to. It'll do it automatically for you.
From Shotgun 2?
It'll do 1001 for you if you don't put anything there.
In Shotgun 2?
Yeah.
I've not tried from Shotgun.
Yeah, I never put that in there and it's always fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question. I was going through my headband shots where it's filling with the headband to see where they're at because they're one of the next things that are coming up for me to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that, I opened 4 different shots, and every single one I have instead of the head of the headband in his left hand, it's the tail. I'm wondering if I have to fix that. It's the wrong end, I think. Anybody have any comments about that?
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about what's going on with the headband because they finalized the design of it, Craig?
Well, funny you should ask. If you want me to share my screen with you, I literally just this second got a. I can't. You're sharing.
Hold on, I'm going to unshare myself.
Okay. I literally just the second that you said that got a new email from Vista, and Vista says that headband's changing. This is just right now. So yeah, we're not done with the headband yet.
But the end of it, we are going to have that alien clip at one end, right?
Yeah, today they couldn't find it in one of the renders and they weren't sure what was. It sounds like what happened was it became some sort of low-res model that wasn't being seen by lighting in some fashion. Not like a clipping plane, but like the lighting software just couldn't recognize this low-res model. But it doesn't matter because it's changing anyway. Again, if you look at my screen, you can see this literally just came now at 8:17.
Okay.
That was 2 minutes ago.
But so Becky, which end is it that's not attached to the? There should be a ring that attaches it, the tag on the shorts.
Yeah, for which shot, Becky?
Both ends are the same, I guess. The hooks are on both ends.
The round clips are on both ends.
But eventually that's going to be different.
No.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the way it's structured, the lighters, the tech anim people don't care which end you've used.
No, they do care. So which shot are you talking about so I can call it up, we can talk about it?
Well, I went to do 10 to begin with, and then I noticed that, so I thought, oh, maybe I did this one wrong. So then I went and looked at 40 and 50 and 30, all of them, and I see that all of them I have done the same thing, put the tail as the head hooked up to the pants.
But you see, in your DFCs.
DFCs I'm talking about, yeah.
So let me just launch the sequence so we can talk about it somewhere.
Okay.
The problem is, yes, there are two rings that are. It's actually really better to see in the BYAs, to tell you the truth.
Okay, fine.
See it in live action plate. Yeah, let me go there because this is not so useful for us.
Okay.
BYA, by the way, BYA is Ruth's favorite sequence in the whole world.
Now in the MCA though, is this from July? There's a later version of it.
Well, I just want to show off the connection points that Becky is talking about here. Okay, so Becky, you can kind of see here what's going on, and I'll go back to another frame. There's two rings, key rings, basically. One is a large, let's say, 1.25 inch key ring that the headband dangles from, and I'll draw it like this just for fun. Okay? And then there's a smaller ring, key ring, with all these keys and the knife and all this other stuff hanging from it, okay? Within the headband itself, there's an alien connection that looks kind of like this weird filigree thing. And it's like the headband goes this way, and then it's solid, and then this weird alien shaped, and it's more organic than this, but it's an easy thing to draw on both ends. It actually is more like, swoopy. And it's really organic looking, like a piece of bone.
It looks like the H.R. Geiger stuff.
Yeah, it's a Geiger looking thing. So those sit in the center here, and through them goes this ring. And then there was one shot that was maybe more useful for you to see here. Right up front.
So, I mean, what it is one end is different than the others, right?
One's simply smaller. That's all it is.
Okay.
But we're only talking about this shiny chrome circle, not the headband's actual structure.
Okay, the ring is not a part of the headband. So therefore it doesn't matter which way her headband is then, Craig, since the clip parts are the same, but the rings are different, but we're going to have to bring rings in from somewhere else because they've been made separately from the headband.
Right.
Okay.
So you just have to make sure you have the right size ring and that it's going through the tag of his pants.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if the pants have that little tag with the, what do you call it? A little belt.
There's a belt loop.
Yeah, there is a belt loop and it has a controller on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can attach to that. Make sure the ring is going through it.
So can I move forward on that, or those things aren't ready?
I would say move forward, because if the model changes, it's still going to be within the same length. It shouldn't cause you any nightmare to have a model update.
But Giju, do you know if the rings have been created yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Like, it seems to me like people are kind of, they acknowledged that we pointed out that there were rings connecting it to the pants, but nobody ever did anything about it.
Yeah, one ring is there, which is the key ring. But the other side ring for the pants, that has not been created, I guess.
I mean, all they need to do is take the ring that the keys are on and scale it up and put it out as a separate asset, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, should be really easy. Okay, so that's something to bring up in the meeting tomorrow. So yeah, Becky, you can't do anything until you get that ring to attach to the belt loop.
Okay, because I was asked to republish 10 because the headband wasn't, it was intersecting the ground.
Yeah, don't just explain to them that the shot is barely done, barely even started. But what is it, Tech Anim that's complaining about that? Because the Tech Anim is doing the headband.
Yeah, I think it's Tech Anim.
Or is it lighting? That doesn't.
Min Huey would know. Light wants it?
Yeah.
They want me to fix the headband, but it's always hard to, it's easier to fix something you know you're fixing for good.
No, there's no point in doing that, Becky, because it's a Tech Anim anyway. Right, Jishu? Tech Anim is doing the headband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think previous published that Becky did is the headband penetrate, or the animation is not same as the versions that upload on Shotgun. So Lighter is just checking if that.
Yeah, but Becky, you can quickly do a global shift of YT for those controls which are going underneath the ground, and just
it's worse. Yeah. Well, what happened is I went in there and it's broken.
Okay.
I don't know where it broke, so it's not in the hand. So that just, I would have to redo it, basically, and spend some time animating it so that it would be above the ground. Not a big deal. I just stopped when I realized I want to make sure that I'm doing the right side of the headband. When I realized maybe I was doing the wrong side. But it's also work that has to be redone later because it's not I guess, or maybe doesn't have to be redone, but sort of has to be redone because I'm connecting the end of something to the wrist, and instead I'm going to be having a ring there. It doesn't matter to me. I'll work on it. I'm just trying to think, what are my priorities for what's important? I know those shots, even if I don't work on the headband, all those shots need work, so it's not a waste of time to work on them. I just want to know
Well, from my point of view, by the way, before I close this window, you can see the headband and that giant ring.
Yeah.
And that's all the keys and a little pocket knife and the shorts and all that. So that's what mechanically it all looks like. That's what you should be seeing. What's going to happen to the headband are two things that I can tell as of today. One, a model change that we knew was coming, which is going to have a little slice through here. And now this headband's going to kind of swell, as Justin likes to call it, back down into size, kind of like this. So there's going to be this little sort of apex in the center. The new request that just came through 2 minutes ago is that they want to see segments running through it as well. Like, I don't know why this would make such a big deal, why they had to have it. So this isn't going to change. Neither of these model changes are going to have any effect on you. You can just keep going.
But I don't have any shots where it's wrapped around his head. They're all shots he's dragging it along.
Right, and I'm just saying it's not going to have any effect on you regardless. So you ought to just
move forward.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think start moving forward. You just have to get the ring, though.
And is there a ring I can go get?
No.
Okay.
So do you have something to work on if you can't work on those shots?
Yeah, I've got 50 and 51. I've also got the, I'm not totally sure about the, what are they called? Forget that. The GSCs. Look, I'm not totally sure. Those also have to be final this next week.
Yeah, but do you have anything to do on those?
I have 190. There was still an outstanding comment that his back looked a little frozen.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really.
Yeah, so you can start working on GHCs for the moment, and if a new shot comes out.
Well, but then I also was gonna, like, if the GSCs were ready, except for the 190. I thought I would go to the DFCs because they're the next thing that's coming up for me.
Yeah, okay, but we still have to wait for the ring.
Yeah, but I can do other things. I can work on body and
hands.
And lots of stuff because they're all, some of them are pretty big shots.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Let me see about this shot.
And the hot cups.
Yeah, that's another problem. I tried to connect those cups today, and when I put them on, at first I didn't think it worked, but then I turned off my alien, and the cups are inside of him and pointing the wrong way.
Yeah, you have to read the pose.
You have to read the pose.
No, that was after I read the pose.
Did you select, besides the apply button, there is a button to select the content? Because if you just select one control, it would read for that control only. So you have to click on that select content to select all the controls and then apply.
When I'm in the library?
Yeah, when you're in your library, just make sure you have all of the controllers of the hot cup selected. That's what he's saying before you apply the animation.
And G2, does it matter which control on the cup I'm using? Am I supposed to use the very bottom one?
No, by default, what I explained to you yesterday was globals have to be parent constrained to the specific bones, which I mentioned in the message.
Okay.
And then if you go into Studio Library, select the pose, and from selection, the option from selection, and then besides the apply, if you say select content, then it would select all the 3 rigs with all the controls which it needs to move, and say apply. It would come into place.
It will work. Okay, I'll try again.
Yeah, you can come back in and share your screen if you're still having trouble.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm still trying to put this into, I'm really slow. If you want to go to somebody else, you can come back to me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I see Melissa's here, but she already went, right?
Yeah, I will show something later.
Okay, what about Rakesh? Hi. Hello. You're an early bird today.
Yeah. So
What do we have to look?
I must be having 3 ticks from yesterday. I updated 250, 320 as per yesterday's comment, and there would be a new shot 350. DFC, all DFC.
You have selected Rakesh More.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah, Rakesh Chakravarti. Yeah, that was a lighter with us.
I know, I'm just all discombobulated. Did you see that I got a clone of me?
Yeah.
And then I couldn't do anything with it. You're seeing my screen now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's so, I don't know what happened. Why is she smiling?
Gail appeared, so that's why I'm Gail.
Oh. Okay.
Gallery up, open with all the people.
Holy mackerel, look at that.
He's evil.
He is evil. That is not someone you want to have over for dinner. Or watch your kids when you go out to the movies. Well, Rakesh, I wish I could tell you that this is super fantastic, but until we have all of our floating objects, you will never know where you're supposed to be looking. So we don't know when we're getting those. We're hoping to get them soon. We've asked over and over again, and they said by the end of this week for sure. But who knows if by the end of this week will really happen.
All right.
The request, first of all, I also want to mention your headband is somehow a goofy model of the headband. The headband has actually been modeled to fit right on his head.
Mm-hmm.
So you ought to be able to put it on and it'd suck right down to his skull.
Okay, I'll look into it.
There's a channel that you just switch on that makes it suck onto his head, and just make sure you have the latest version of the headband as well.
Right. Yeah.
And then Rakesh, are you using the director video reference for your direction on what you're doing here?
I'm not following that thing exactly. I'm just overall watching what he's doing and taking the notes from the short note which is there in the video, right? I'm just going according to it.
Okay, great. I need to check on that because I'm not saying what you've done is wrong. I think you probably are more up to date than the notes that they sent me on the 9th of last month. This is DFC.
Yeah.
And in the share, there is no share.
You have to remove the filters. And latest.
Oh, G2, what would we do without you? Well, me in particular. Okay. So we'll see if we can sell this. It seems a little bit over the top to me for who our alien is. So I think what I'm going to ask you to do to nestle him back into our alien is to reduce, you don't have to make it go away entirely, but reduce the mouth expression. It's a little too gruesome, I think.
Okay.
And I know the director might be doing something with his face. Who knows? The problem is that every time we move his face, they tell us not to move his face at all. Yeah, he's just doing that nonsense. So I would say just reduce it. Is there a way that you could find to make yourself happy with the grimace and that, that evil mouth that you've got, and at the same time not be so over the top? Like, could you maybe crush your mouth down, really compress the lips hard here,
Okay.
like really hard here, so you really see it's tight, and then you could open, so you'll have a lot of open still, the relaxing from the compression, and then a little bit open. Maybe that same thing will show off all of the same amount of emotion you're trying to sell here or show here.
Okay.
Try that a little bit. The hands can also help you quite a bit by just bringing them in, showing that force and strength of.
Yeah.
That will help. And then I will gladly send this as quickly as I can. And at the time, I will note that you're not looking at anything in particular, because, of course, we don't know what it looks like because they won't send us anything. So your eyes will probably end up having to change, where your eye lines go. That's not a huge deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like it. It's full character.
Cool.
Shoot it with the mask next time. Sorry.
It was, right? No?
No,
Okay.
because the head is very close to the mask. You might have to pan.
Yeah. Okay.
The mask is probably right in here somewhere.
Yeah.
You know how to do the mask, Rakesh?
It's there. It's a tool in Tao Tools thing, right?
No, it's an image plane that you can you subscribe to it in Taco, and then you go to your camera and you create an image plane or import image. You know what I mean? Or it's,
You subscribe and then you use the tool to create the image plane.
Okay.
Because that way it locks the zoom pan.
okay.
Yeah. For this shot particularly, if I subscribe to the latest image plane, then I'm getting that slip in the match move thing I was talking about, Jitu.
No, not the BG image plane we are
Then-
talking about. We are talking about the mask image plane. So
Okay.
it's an asset called source images mask.
Hmm.
So that's what we are talking about. So you'll get the mask images.
Okay.
There are 3 types of it. So this would be type 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and did you raise a ticket to tracking for that issue?
I did talk to Rangesh about it, and he knows I didn't raise any ticket. I'll do that.
Just raise a ticket also, so
Yeah.
everybody is in loop.
Yeah. So prep department doesn't have the latest retime plate for this shot.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Rakesh, you know what I think is probably going to end up happening with this shot?
Yeah.
And if you go back into it, you're welcome to include this. You're also welcome to try and sell what you've got, too, which is he probably, he's looking at the guys before. He's going to kill the guys before. He's amassing all this crap around him. It's all spinning like a tornado, giant barrels of booze and everything else. He's going to throw it at them very quickly or, in the next couple of shots. So chances are likely he's not going to take his gaze off of the 2 victims, right?
Okay.
But what he might do is look around in a much subtler way. You're looking sort of, you might be looking a little bit too sort of obviously, and maybe you need just to look with your eyes. Just, you would check on them, you're looking at them, you're going to kill them, and then you're just taking a quick little glances at the stuff to make sure it's working the way you want and back to them. And if you have time and the desire to do it, you can do a version like that. We can send both versions.
Yeah, I'll do a version of it. It's
okay, and we'll send both versions and see what they would prefer. That might be the shortest way to getting this.
okay.
Because my notes say he stands quietly doing nothing, staring down at his feet or hands. But I see the director is doing something else.
Yeah.
And I know I put all those things up there. But I don't know what my date was. I should have dated these as well as everything else I was writing on them.
Okay, I'll make a version of it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Ruth. I think that'd be the best plan.
Great.
Yes, G2.
One more concern I had with the headband.
Yeah.
Now, because the shape of the headband is changing, earlier we was cheating that once the headband is put on, we were rotating it conveniently to make that shape, because that shape in the rig is where the connector is behind and he's
Right.
connecting sideways.
Oh,
So
and
if
so
we are
that's
connecting sideways, that bulge would come on the screen left side.
Oh, no. Okay, so you're right, of course.
Because here it was even, so we didn't care like where the connector went.
That's a really good point. All it really means ultimately is that when we put the headband on, we have to put it on like this, right?
Yeah, but the shots are on back the side, right?
I understand. And they did ask us to put it specifically on this side. This is a good 7 a.m. topic.
We can request rigging to create a new fix shape for the side connector.
Yeah.
So DFC fix and the other fix.
And they're going to be back in it anyway because they're remodeling the whole thing. There also is talk about different colors of light, by the way.
Okay. But just we need to confirm that if in this sequence the bulge would be on the screen left side or not.
Right. Well, I bet we changed from having our connection on the side to our connection in the rear, so that we can put the headband properly on. Otherwise, he's just too goofy, you know. I don't think they're going to want him to look stupid by not putting his headband on correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or somehow in one shot we show that headband swirling around his head and snapping into place or something. After that connection, because if they want the shots on the right side only, so we can like fake it like it has gone inside the headband and not in the links now, and it has connected, so it went into the links into the headband cord, and now the headband can slide inside it or something.
And you know, the other thing too, maybe this is kind of what you're talking about. If I put it on the side and it's coming here and the big bulge is on this side of my head, the big bulge could move itself so that it's still next to the clasps are still on the side, but the headband itself is sort of realigned to, it's a lot of complication. I won't even bring it up. No, it's a good point you bring up. We'll deal with it tomorrow.
Yeah, it was just, the shape is changing, that's why.
Yeah. Rakesh, is 320 something new for you?
Yeah, you told me to lower his screen right hand in this shot, in the beginning of the shot.
Yeah, it looks good.
And 250 you told me to lower his hand at the end of the shot.
Yeah, so it hooks up nicely. Yeah, it looks good. I will try and send these as well by Friday.
Okay. Cool.
See if we can't get them to start thinking about all this work. Because we haven't touched these for so long. Okay, I like it.
Cool.
Hang on, I want to look at it in the cut just to make sure that it's all syncing in a continuity just a little bit. There is no continuity. It's looking pretty good, buddy.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd be thrilled to send that section of the sequence by the end of the week.
Right. Then I'll
Cool.
start.
Yeah. So if you want to do a second version of the 350, then I'll include that as well. That'd be good.
Cool. So I'll send you second version of 350 and I'll start with 380.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mel's back, or has Mel just never left? Melissa, are you back?
Never left.
No, I'm around. But I'm still working on the elbow, so just
Okay,
give me
no
a second.
problem.
Okay, thank you.
My 41 should be there.
She's like a vampire.
Oh, Becky's 41.
Becky? Becky who? Who is this Becky you speak of? I have to refresh, sorry.
Version 22.
Version 12, take 22.
So I have it rotated more at the end, Ruth, because you wanted a better
Yeah.
silhouette. But it did cause some changes at the end, but I was able to I just did a little bit of counter, so I don't think it looks different. For some reason, rotating it made him raise a little bit.
It moved his head up a bit.
Yeah, so I just moved him down a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to start with showing us your shoulder quite so much. That is a odd silhouette, as you've said just now. And then it looks really difficult for him to turn his head that far. Oh, but you are coming from that other shot. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Okay, so what's going on here where it's kind of smushing around his face? That's new to us.
That's what?
That's new.
Oh, you mean the little movement on the skin?
No, the thumb sort of sliding over his teeth.
It's always looked a bit like that.
It seems worse to me.
Yeah.
Well, it got changed a little bit. Like I said, when I did that rotation, it altered it slightly. I tried to. But just tell me what you don't like and I'll fix it.
It's not a matter of not liking. It's trying to matter of is it going to work?
Right. Well, the rotation's pretty much stopped, so I tried to do something more global.
There isn't you don't want to just turn his head with the thumb like this as it goes around.
Craig, I have a suggestion. Like, if we can sell by some means that the thumb is inside and the skin is sliding over it,
Mm-hmm.
then that sells for itself. Like
Yeah.
he's scrubbing his teeth, but the
Yeah.
skin over it is sliding. So
Yeah. Like,
because the other fingers below his chin is sticking pretty well.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so that would be the only solution to
That
get
would
this
be
out.
like a tech anim thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Take
They'll
anim,
love that.
or we can do something in there, like we just pull those knots out
Yeah.
and just bring that in again, like one by one, like a harmonica, like ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Like 3 controls and you just go through it.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
Well, I don't understand what you guys are saying.
Right, she wants to move the lip like this with the finger.
Like
Okay.
With the thumb, sorry.
I mean, there's a little bit right there. That's the only time I use it, when he pushes that way. The lip pushes across and the jaw comes across a teeny bit.
Well, this would be Tech Anim doing it. We're just trying to set you up to provide them the facility for it.
She was saying that she might be able to put some animation of the minor controls on the mouth.
Yeah.
The little knots.
Yeah, he used to. We've seen his lips open, his lips over a thumb before.
So do you want me to put the thumb in the mouth? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, it would require you to pull the lip out and put it on the outside of the thumb.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically the thumb is in between the teeth and the lips. Yeah. So
Right.
it's sliding over the teeth.
But is that where it is, or is it just going inside his head at the moment?
It's not going, the thumb is not, well, at least from the rig point of view, is not really going into the mouth.
Big
On
up.
top, yeah.
Is it touching any of the teeth geometry?
No, it's not anywhere near the teeth. It's just barely touching the lip.
Okay. Yeah.
It just, the roto has a certain look to it that makes you think you're seeing what you're seeing, but
But Becky, you're clear that the thumb is rolling over. What G2 is suggesting is your thumb is rolling over the teeth.
yeah, it's not on the teeth. It's it's the top of the lip, actually, in terms of the roto guy. But that's different. I mean, the mask of the roto is not plastered onto the
hand.
Not really in real life. It's just a layer on top, I guess.
So is this one of these instances where we should just pass this on to Tech Anim and have them give it a try and see what they can do? Or do we need Becky to at least start?
Well, I published it today, so they can look at it and they can.
Can you shoot up with the match move with the textures on it? That way we can see, switch off the roto, basically, that's all. And then you'll have a match move with just textures on it, so we can see actually how it's contacting the...
Okay, that's scary. Okay, so the TrackMan put the texture on him.
Yeah, I think that's what you have already. The use background.
Yeah, no, I can do that. I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That would be worth seeing.
Okay.
But should we send? Yeah, I don't know. We still, I think, need to try to do a bit more work to get that thumb to work with the head.
Sure.
I mean, the other thing that I was saying, Jutu was saying, do this. Mm-hmm. That's an ambitious goal, but you could try just rotating the head back a little bit as that thumb slides. Or tilting the head a little bit so that instead of just letting the thumb go back, just lift up the head with it. You could try a version like that. Does that make sense?
The thing that G2's pointing out though is,
yeah, I know the bottom of these fingers are matching.
Right, because he's doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going like that.
I guess it is really that.
Okay, well.
We can, like Becky, if you want, you can create a cylinder in there as a imitation for the thumb.
Okay.
And parent it to the head or the upper teeth and roll it inside and make the lips work.
Okay.
And make use background on that cylinder. Like match that cylinder to the background plate quite well so that you don't have a slide in your cylinder geometry, which is matching to the thumb. And keep that cylinder geometry between the lips and the fingers, lips and the teeth. So that way you can occlude it off like that. So if that helps, yeah.
All right.
So she's doing her own thumb match move there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, only for that section, like 10 frames. If she wants to do that, then that would sell what we need to do. Or we can even ask tech animators, like I can ask him, any which ways Becky would be working on it tomorrow. So I can ask in the meanwhile today to Anubhav and see if he can fix it. Then we'll leave in their hands.
It's all good. When I wake up tomorrow, I'll see if there's any message.
Sure.
Anything to do, but I'll.
It-
So, I mean, the reaction was you think the thumb should be sticking rather than moving across.
No, I think he's trying to say that you've done good by putting his hand on the chin. So we like that, right?
Yeah.
And now he's moving his thumb by his just moving his thumb back and forth on your teeth.
Yeah.
So you've done good to get those two locked together. The problem is he also has a secondary thumb motion.
Yeah.
You'll put your finger under his flap of his face, but the thumb on the teeth. And leave this part alone because you've done a nice job with that.
Okay. Well, yeah. No, I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
For all the ideas that people have about using a cylinder or using the track with the BG on it and see. I definitely would have to, and then I would have to animate the lips for that because right now I was being really careful of just letting it, not even intersect the lips because I thought somebody would freak out if it intersected the lips.
I would say that it's better to try to get a bit of interaction in there. That way we can actually try to do something ourselves and then ask Tech Anim to enhance it if we need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Groovy.
The other comment, by the way, which is a performance thing, is your eyes are probably getting a little bit too conscious, a little too awake at the end. When he shoves that finger up in his mouth, he should still be like, what is going on?
Well, I didn't think you did any face animation. Did you do face animation on this?
I have like when his eyes open up, they were more shut, they open up, and I lift the brows like they're trying to lift the lids. When you're sleepy, your brows in the center more, they pull up.
I think we need to do more of this in the brows.
Okay.
That's what Craig was doing yesterday.
Yeah.
Scrunching brows, like I'm tired and confused, so I'm scrunching.
Well, I did a kind of a scrunch right before he opens his.
Yeah, but there should be a whole load of wrinkles in here that you can drive in. There's a blend shape for them.
Yeah. Didn't. Sure.
Do you know where those controls are?
Yeah. No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to make him look too weird, but
He should look grumpy.
he should look grumpy.
Yeah, and he should not want to wake up. And so what you've got is a sleepy guy, and then at some point the thumb goes in there and he wakes up like, hey, I don't like this.
Right.
What are you doing? But he should just be grumpy about it. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to mess with you guys.
Okay.
And then that grabs, what are you doing? Leave me alone. I don't like it. And then this is just like, what in the hell's going on? I don't get it. So you wouldn't look at how directly. You might glance at him a little bit, but he's not your focus. And you're just sort of like grumpy, not waking up.
Yeah, I'm not trying to look at him.
Yeah.
But no matter where I put his eyes, he still looks kind of like he's looking at him.
Yeah, you could go further upstage of him still. And just take the focus out of the eyes by making them, look grumpy. The crunch thing that Ruth is talking about is good. Grumpy,
Okay.
grumpy.
Okay, grumpy.
Grumpy.
And then even try some fast kind of squinty things, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Anything else, Becky?
Not really.
Okay, cool.
All right, thank you, Gail. I'll see you guys.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Snail Gail.
What?
What?
What's going on?
42?
Yeah, I shot it out. The hands aren't on the bike right, but I just wanted to see if the acting stuff was better and the bike.
Yeah, I don't ever care if his hands are on the bike. I keep thinking about how uncooperative he ought to be. And that to me means no hands on the bike, who cares? Obviously,
Yeah.
put the hands on the bikes, but
I mean, I have them like kind of draped over there, similar to what you were talking about
yeah, you're doing
for
good.
a while, but there's just some points where it's like sliding off the bike that
Yeah, I
Ted
get it.
will yell at me about.
So you still need to do a little bit better hookup with the head motion. This giant anti-clockwise rotation in his head in the previous shot 40 isn't felt at all in your shot.
Okay.
I think you'd be okay not to look at that hand. I think you'd be okay just to keep that rotation that you see in 40 going and stare straight ahead, or take a lesser glance at your handlebars. Was there some note to look at that hand? Probably there is, right?
Yeah, there was. See, that's what's confusing, right? I need to look. The note was to look at that left hand, to glance at that left hand, not to look at the right hand. But in order to hook up with Dippin's shot, I need to look at the right hand. So
Yeah. Ignore the shot, the notes.
okay.
That note goes back to July 26th, by the way.
July. Yeah. Okay.
And the August 31st or July the 31st, whatever 7 is, those notes say, we're really looking forward to seeing the notes addressed soon.
Oh dear.
So, yeah, no, that means nothing, by the way. That's them being polite. That's not a bad thing at all.
I feel pressure.
Stop looking at me. I hate you.
It was the plate we were waiting for so long.
Yeah, and then the mash move guy, and the whole thing is bananas. So does he get too still there?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
I'm just going to look at this one more time, and then we're going to go back to your shot. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking.
continue for a second? Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
here's what I'm thinking.
only looking at getting out there.
Yo, yo, yo. Right. So we're looking at the Gang Hao. Then we're coming around. You're going to keep coming around. You're going to keep coming around. You're going to keep coming around. You're going to stare straight off. Then you're going to go from staring straight off. You're going to have that same snap where your head turns, but it won't be such a big deal because you're already going to be facing more or less forward, okay?
Okay.
I think that is the fix to make the hookup work and to instantly show that he is disinterested in everything. The fact that you're looking at your hand, it just doesn't work.
Okay.
It's not your fault. It doesn't work from their point of view, their request for what he's supposed to be doing. It just makes it difficult for you to be obstinate and uncooperative and all that.
So, all right, now I'm totally confused. So,
No.
you're saying that, okay, he's getting told him to have been shot, but he's not looking at the hand? He's not looking
Okay, so we're going to look at my screen.
Okay, yeah.
So we're looking at Gang Hao. We're turning with him. We're looking at our hand. We see our hand being put on somewhere. It's going somewhere, right?
Right.
And the head is counterclockwise rotating. You continue the counterclockwise rotation. You don't look at your hand. Just take the pacing and the speed of this counterclockwise rotation in the head and maintain it to your shot until you're looking straight ahead.
Okay.
And then as you're looking straight ahead, it's going to be one of these things. You're watching him, you're moving your hand. Now cut to Gail's shot. Right? So
Okay.
when we cut to Gail's shot, you're not looking at your hand still being put on. You're looking straight ahead like, I hate this. I hate whatever he's doing to me. I just hate it. And then when he grabs his hand, you can have that snap look over there and be done with all of that.
Okay.
And you're good to go. So it's really just let's rotate your head, continue this rotation in your head until you're looking straight off into the distance, not paying attention, not cooperating, not wanting to engage. You're just ignoring the whole thing. You hate him. You hate this whole process.
Okay. That makes a lot. I think, well, hopefully it'll make it look better because I don't like it right now, so.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to simplify your performance, which is good. It's going to set up two things. Real disinterest and uncooperativeness. I'm just staring ahead. I don't care about you people. I'm not going to look. Whatever you're doing, fine, do it. Get it over with quick. I don't want anything to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he grabs it, you're going to, grabs your other hand. You still get to snap at him. What are you doing? Just like you're doing now. So that still works. You're just not going to be rotating from over here all the way to over there to look at him grab your hand. So it'll be a nicer, more tidy, less verbose, less big rotation, which is going to be nice. It just compresses all of his performance into less motion, which is good. All the notes are there, all your beats are there, all your anim is there. You're just not going to swing so much with that head, which will be super good. And then, yes, to answer your question, that bike seems pretty dang still.
Yeah, I tried to look at the plate when the blue guy was like hitting it, but before the bike was moving way too much.
Yeah, but you own this bike now, so do whatever you want. All these frames here where the bike is just parked.
Yeah, it's right, that bit right there. I don't think his body or the bike is moving that much.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. This bike weighs more than he does, or close to it. He just a little life to it. It doesn't have to say anything.
Okay. But can I add a little in his body? Or?
Oh my God, woman. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, make yourself happy with it for sure. Just remember that for him, he's pouting. He's not interested in this.
Okay.
I looked off because I don't want to look at camera. But.
No, that's cool. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to ask. Is he looking too much at camera? Should I have him look
Yeah,
off?
I would have him just look screen right of the center camera.
Wait. So to the left.
To screen right.
To screen right, like over by the block?
No. Right now you're looking kind of like straight ahead.
Right.
Kind of into camera. I'm suggesting you look just off a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. That's what I meant. The block side. I'm not describing it well though. Cool. I like the laser eyes.
Excellent.
All right, so I will do. Is there anything else that you want to see in that? Was the push down okay, or?
The pushdown's better. You still have a weird spacing in the last few frames before it goes under the mask. It's this frame right here. These two you need more acceleration.
Okay.
I think you get to be as forceful as you want to throw that bike down. Although it's also totally good that you just go, this really simple, I don't care. You have anywhere you can go, just make it pay for itself. He's not just letting go of it, he's letting go with it with no care, haha, screw you, or he's throwing it down. And we're soon to throw it down for real, right? On the second time we toss it down.
Right.
So this could be a little like, whatever. He's holding it and he goes.
Okay. Yeah, kind of.
Which is a definite screw you. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, you want me to do this? Guess what? Screw you.
Yeah. I think so.
Well, let's try a screw you on it, okay?
Okay, I'll try that. So slower, more, I just let go of it thing.
Let go of it, and you'll have to do some exclamation with your hands. You're going to have to do something that says, I'm done with this. You can't just go, you have to commentary.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I will do that. Thank you.
See ya. See you later.
Can I go next?
No, absolutely not. How dare you for even asking? We're looking at your 180.
Yep, the 180.
That's the reload. Please give me 1 sec. And here we go. You have a 2-beat thing going on. You need to tighten that, get the timing a little closer to one another. So your elbow is going down, but then we hold, and then the arm comes down. So you don't want your elbow to happen until, I'm thinking probably like 10:32. 10:30,
okay.
Yeah, try 10:30, 10:32, somewhere in there, but it's probably 10:31.
Okay.
So your elbow is what drives the hand down right away versus your elbow and then the hands. We want you to be what drives Gang Hao's arms down.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll see you soon. I just know that.
Probably not. I'll see.
Okay. No trouble. You get it. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, see you.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I won't be here tomorrow, and until next Monday.
Why? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going back to my hometown.
Hometown, you know what that means, don't you, Ruth? For hometown.
Yeah.
It means Vonnie's.
I wish.
It means that Bonnie feels like she hasn't done 37 shots in an afternoon recently. So, well, you have to go there. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, like Vani is also going on PTO, so she wants to cover up all her shots.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
She's
What she's
bringing
doing is she's getting everybody to
Melissa
come to
over.
work. Yeah, she's going to get everybody to go there, work for a week, and then there'll be an automatic, like, shotgun bot that's going to post stuff every day that was done the week before by 35 different people.
Yeah, and she'll enjoy one more week off.
Right, and then Zoom will pop up, and we'll just see Vonnie's name. and everything that says is, yes, it will be fine. Yes, I will be fine. Yes, I will do that. Okay, well then how about Daganta then, just for fun?
Hi.
Oh, Daganta, you sound so depressed.
Yeah, no, I just want to show that pose I did it yesterday. I want to share my screen.
Ooh, doctor.
So now,
Daganta, you weren't with us earlier yesterday or earlier today, but we have, we think, a very special treat for you.
okay.
How would you like to scale your alien down in any one of your DFD shots to 0.97?
Okay, 0.97. Okay.
So what we're doing is we're trying to find a way to make it easier for everybody who's got a DFD shot to do their shot, because everybody's struggling with the same thing, which is watching his chest collapse into his abdomen.
Yes.
And so Melissa played a little bit yesterday by bringing him down, or maybe it was Melanie, now I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Melanie.
Melanie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Melanie brought him down to 0.97, and it seemed to help pretty good. If we went any further, he looked too small, so maybe that was a pretty good place. So what I'm asking is a number of people, would you please all, in a number of shots, like four of them, 3 of them, whatever the most difficult shots you have, put it to 0.97, see if it really helps you a lot. If it helps everybody, which of course it will, we will have tracking reestablish a scale for us, and we can move on without killing ourselves. What I'm looking for is if you go to 0.97, and you're still struggling, you feel like you need to be at 0.965, then we would love to know that, so that all we're trying to do is keep Rangesh from having to do this 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, that means this entire sequence will be this value, right? You are talking about, because I have this.
It's a cage shots at least.
Yeah, DFB things. Okay.
The ones that are in the cage. Yeah.
It's only the cage shots. Yeah. G2, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to check with these guys, like Diganta and Melanie. Are y'all using the stretch control on?
Not exactly.
Yeah, because without the stretch control on, you cannot collapse the chest. So
maybe Bharat was telling me yesterday that same thing.
yeah, because Bharat's another concern is if you squash the chest by stretching, like squashing it, like
that Y value,
switching on that stretchy spine, and then squashing it, it's equivalent to scaling. But I just explained to him that that scaling, without scaling, we cannot fit him in there. Yeah. So
now the thing is, like, my all the controls value is no XYZ like translation value is there, so it's like all 0.
Okay.
So is he saying that we can't use the stretchy spine?
He's saying that also would cause some issue in the Ziva setup. He has not tried it yet. So
he'd better figure that out and take the stretchy spine out if we can't use it, because that's could be a major problem if it's being used and then we're being told we can't use it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's required, like I can move little bit down, but I don't know about other animators that many people use in that way. So
I would be be, always a fan of using the stretchy spine whenever possible. As long as you're responsible about it,
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yeah. Can you check if your stretchy spine is on the spine control?
Oh, which one?
Besides the hip, there is one big spherical
This.
arrow. No. On the other side, the settings control, the spine setting control. This one on the left screen, left side, you see a circular arrow thing.
Yeah.
Do you have stretchy on?
Yeah. Yes,
It's on.
Yeah. That's why I can make it up and down. So.
Yeah.
But I didn't use it now. This time it's all a 0. So.
Yeah, this should work better, but yeah, we'll have.
Yeah, but sometime we need that things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm working on this shot. So.
Well, that looks like a way better pose. What size?
Yeah. Now it's 1 actually.
Oh, really? And he's fitting in there okay?
Yeah. But again, it's a little bit cheat. Like it's coming out.
Oh, yeah. We probably don't want the butt going through the ground.
Yeah. Then it's like maximum things I did.
Yeah. So scale it down to 0.97, and I bet you that little.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're going to be fighting this for everybody. So
Yeah.
We really don't want to push him forward even more. So.
And the other thing is, you all have your global at the origin, and you have moved the alien or parented the alien into the cage. The only problem with it is now if you scale the global,
yes, it will move.
It would move, and you'd have to
remove
the curves.
Yeah.
Motion capture all came in with the global at 0.
Yeah.
Motion capture left. It's like
one of
the
residual stuff.
With working with motion capture data is just the way that it, like I was saying to other people, it just barfs data onto the controls in all sorts of horrible ways that are not good, proper animation workflow.
Yeah.
And so that's fine if you don't have to edit it, but once you start changing it, it becomes so useless.
Yeah.
0.97. Yeah. But still, I think we need a little bit more scale.
You think?
Okay.
Well, you push him up a little bit now because his head is below the top of the cage, right?
Yeah, but now it's like single pose. I can adjust, but it's like when it is moving or turn around, it like throughout body. That time I think it's create a little bit. So that's why I asked for that it can be like less. Okay, I'll check it out once again today. And
get away without scaling it. Is that what you're saying, Ganta?
No, I need a little bit more scale. Then only I think I can fit.
Okay, so maybe 0.95.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 second.
Yeah, not below 9.5 because then it starts looking small in the cage.
Yeah. 9.5. Yeah, I think so. It will work, I think. Yeah, I think it will work.
Well, it ought to work. You think it'll work to pull his butt out of the floor?
No, it's not. Now I can adjust. Yeah, I think this value will work. 0.95.
0.97?
0.97 is a little bit more. Because in this pose, yeah, it looks fine, but when it is turning around in here, like when it is rotate, or maybe in I have another shot when it is coming out. That time it's so. So I can try in this value also today, or I can go for 9.5.
Yeah, but just do it a quick and dirty pass, not refine it to the extent, because any which ways you'll have to scale it back to 1. So this we are doing it for checking if the scale would work. If the scale works, then we'll ask tracking to scale the world and bring back your alien back to 1.
Okay. So which value I'll go for? Like 9.7 or 9.5? Because I have to change the pose again.
Well, not. Do you need it to be at 9.7? 9.5? Does that really help you a lot?
Yeah, 9.7 again. It's like much similar. So 9.5 it will like.
What about 9.6?
Okay.
Well, we tried 9.5 yesterday, and we all agreed it looked too small.
No, she had 0.9 put in. I was saying 0.95, and when I looked, she had 0.9 put in.
This is 9.6.
You can just toggle to the cam main.
Cam main.
Yeah, the main camera.
Like this camera.
Yeah, yeah.
This way, like I can cheat. Like,
No.
any.
I'm showing it to Craig, like
Okay.
the scale
Yeah,
wise.
Yeah.
We're just looking at whether or not it's a pleasing look.
Yeah. This is 9.6, so I can make it 9.5.
That looks good to me.
That's too small.
Okay.
9.7.
0.97 is so much better.
Okay.
What about 0.971 or 0.969? 5.3.3197.
Yeah, no. It's like pixel difference.
Hey, how big is that cell? How many digits can we put in? Let's find out that.
What if you want to put pi in there?
I was just going to say.
This bar length inside, yesterday we were discussing that.
Yeah.
The bar length and the inside the cage height is 1.5 feet, and alien's head to hip is 2 feet, ignoring the legs, and the leg is 1 feet odd.
So he should be like this in the cage all the time then, just to fit in.
Yeah.
But Craig has said the client doesn't want that.
Yeah, but that's how we'll have to bid for a CG cage then.
You mean to grow the cage bigger?
That's
then CG cage, and then we can fit any, like standing up tall also.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
No, if the client doesn't want it to be that way, then it would be small, or it would be, because we were just comparing it with the leg in Melanie's shot only. We were checking. So the cage height was approximately knee to ankle height. So that was approximately 1.5 feet. And then we checked the scale of the cage. It was actually 1.5 feet inside.
Yeah, when people watch a movie, they don't measure the size of one thing compared to the other. They look at what the characters.
No. I
think it just needs to look. It needs to look nice, and so that's the big issue: is that it doesn't look nice because it's too squashed in there.
Yeah, it's too congested. Although the storyline of it being congested in there is great. That we've made him uncomfortable, and that we're confining him in his inner psychology, and this is a commentary on the Chinese government and the way that they hold the Chinese people in this little cage and don't let them out. You know, that's what these people have talked themselves into believing this movie is about, is all this, you know, socio-political undertones. So it makes some sense to have them uncomfortable in there, but if we can't move them or if we can't fold them without interpenetrating them, then we have to cheat. And so the cheat is as little as we can get away with. So Deganta, if you're saying 0.95 is not super great for you and that you would prefer 9.6, of course you would prefer 9.6. Every inch that we can give you in headroom to make him fit better is going to make your life obviously better. But at some point, he gets too small.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look right in the room any longer.
So can we do one thing, like we can make it 9.7, 0.97, and we can little bit scale up the cage also.
No.
Both the way.
No, I don't think we can do the cage because the cage is not always a
Fixed.
CG cage.
Okay.
We have a lot of CG cage, but we don't have all CG cage. And they're not going to go through and paint out the practical cage, which is in every plate, just to be able to. Imagine painting out those bars, right? That ain't happening. So I think we're stuck with the cage size we have.
Okay.
If you would like to work at 9.6 on a shot, send an email to Ruth and G2 and myself. Hey guys, go look at DFB 160. This is at 9.6. And then tomorrow in our 7 a.m. Conference, we will share 9.6 and 9.7 in the cuts or in the clips and see if we get the entire community of Tau Films to have a comment on it.
Okay, Craig, I have a question.
Yeah, ma'am.
Is the alien the same size relative to the cage throughout the sequence, or is he fluctuating as well on top of this from shot to shot?
We don't want him changing from shot to shot. Our cage is based on the live action cage that has no bars. We're really just putting bars in. So he should be a consistent size all the time.
I remember before it wasn't. Some of the shots he looked small in it and some he looked really squished in it.
Yeah, that's the same with MCA and the same thing with GSC. We just had sloppy tracks coming from Semantica that we had to work with. But as those get sorted out, we are still small or large in places. So we just that's just another layer of correction we have to affect.
Yeah, Ruth, but that would be easy to fix because the cage size would not change. So cage size, they are using the rig. So that would remain constant. So our pose would not change.
Well, I know, but before it was, and I don't know if people have picked up new cameras since we last sent this for rough approval, but the alien was fitting in very easily into the cage in some shots and was totally hunched over in other shots.
And that's just, I think, an error in the tracks, in our early tracks, that provided the animators the opportunity to have them be small as all.
Diganta, can you select the cage and see what scale is it at? Like, is it at 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Melanie, I see you have rejoined us. Is it possible that you have some opinion about all this since you've been working with it?
Well, I'm still trying to adjust my animation according to that scale, but it does help somewhat, yeah.
And would you prefer 9.6 in a huge way as well?
It would be better because now I'm still trying to cheat the him fitting inside there without pushing down the spine, compressing the spine.
Right. So if you guys want to work at 9.6, then put a couple of shots out there, email the three of us, Ruth, GP, and myself, and and let us know where they're to be found and what scale you arrived at. And we'll share them tomorrow and see if we can't get everybody on board with whatever it is really helps you. But you can't make it so convenient for you. It's still got to be some heavy lifting from animation to make him fit. We can't just scale him down to like 0.2 and go, hey, look, he did double jacks. That was so easy.
But
it's got to be hard still.
If you think the client really wants him to feel crushed in there,
I don't think they do.
You don't.
No, I'm making up, the kind of nonsensical conversations I have throughout the day with these guys.
Because we can always go back to rigging and get them to give us a spline that will allow him to bend over more.
So Ruth, let's say tomorrow we share these 9.6s, and let's just do Deganta and Melanie in 2 shots. That's probably enough. And if they all go, oh no, this is bad for whatever technology reasons exist, then we can scale them back to something that is somewhere that makes people comfortable, and then we go back to rigging and say we need a big giant fix. And then we push it back into all the animators' hands and say, sorry, but got to be what it got to be.
Well, they're going to say that it's fine to put it at 0.96, but then Rangesh is going to have to go through and change all the tracks. And then we're going to also have to make sure that we really want it consistent, that it's really consistent throughout. Right. So I can work on that for some hour or two at some point at the weekend, maybe. Oh, look.
Yeah, and one more thing, Melanie and Diganta. Y'all can do a quick and dirty pass, like just do it as quick as possible. And if you can publish it and make a note in the note, like this publish is only for rigging and Decanem, and publish that with 0.97 or 96, whatever you all feel comfortable with. And then inform Bharat about it. He wanted to try if he can get away with 0.96 scale.
Yeah.
Because he was saying 10% I can try, but the Ziva guys in the last meeting, they had a Ziva webinar. In that, Bharat asked that question that can we do scaling? They said it is not possible to do in Ziva any scaling. So it's the software restriction and not an artist or what we can do or we cannot do. But the software only doesn't support. But Bharat was of an opinion that he wants to try it with some hack if it would work. So if you can publish a couple of shots which you work on, don't change the pose and don't work on it too much. Just do the bare minimum, because any which ways you'll have to scale it back to 1 once the track fix is done and all that stuff. So do the pose cleanup, but don't move the whole thing around. Like just do a global shift, like a global par thing.
Okay.
So clean up the pose for the stomach penetrating and all that stuff after the scale, but don't work too much on the positioning of it. Like do the positioning with the global control rather than going into the cog and the other controls to make it fit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can publish it for rigging and just mention clearly in the comments description section that this is only for rigging and Decanem. Don't subscribe.
But the thing is, like in single pose, we can arrange it. But when it is moving or maybe in action, so that pose also you have to do it. Otherwise, we can't judge it.
Yeah, do the fixes, but don't get into details of hand grabbing the bar perfectly
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that stuff, because I'm saying when you scale it back to 1, you'll have to fix that again.
yeah.
So I'm just saying the troubled area, that is the stomach penetrating to the chest, clean that section and overall move the global to position it right into the cage, and
Okay.
then just publish it quick fast, not to make it so finesse that it is going for client review. Like, it's just a quick and dirty thing to pass something to tech animators or rigging to check if we can get away with scaling. If we cannot, for sure, then we'll have to nail it properly. And I would still suggest not to work too much detail in the hand poses where he's grabbing the bars or anything, because any which ways you'll have to come back to scale of 1 once the track gets fixed. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it would be just double work, and it takes time to fix all those stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, cool.
Okay, then I'll go for the short run.
Sorry that this is such a pain in the butt, but we will figure it out at some point.
We have to fix it now because everybody is working. So
Right. Yeah. And you and Melanie are the not guinea pigs, but the astronauts stepping on the. So,
okay.
thank you,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. Prachi,
Hi, Greg.
how are you?
I'm good.
You have an opinion about scale?
No,
Okay,
actually,
good.
that is not an issue with the DFC sequence, so
Excellent.
I've escaped that. So I have a DFC 140 for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I made some changes to the hand poses and made him look at his hands. In the previous version, I think he was looking at the two guys, Kang Hao and
Do you have is there some guide that you've used to assign these jars on his back?
Actually, G2 had done it in one of his shots and he passed us the values. He stored it as a pose in the
Okay.
studio library, and
It
I
seems a
copied
little
that.
low to me. They seem a little bit low to me. Now,
Okay.
you're pulling this from the MCB, right?
Yeah, after seeing this take, I spoke to Ruth also about it. The first cup looks too low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess once we crank, like in my default pose when I posed it and passed that information to everybody, uh, I was basically checking it at a pose, and when we started moving uh, the shoulders up a little bit,
Yeah.
it started looking too low. So yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
might have to
last
change a
one,
little bit.
the last one's just a little too low. And they might be able to touch. They don't have to be.
Uh,
They don't have to be evenly spaced either. I'm not trying to say they need to be evenly spaced, but they do seem like they need to go north on his back some.
yeah, but the lowest one was around that location. If you see the
From when
reference
he
image,
was getting it put on in the,
yeah,
which has all been painted out now.
yeah. That was all in the dummies, but yeah. So do we follow that, or we just randomly keep it on the spine wherever we want to keep it?
Well, as I say, the issue is if you're trying to match it to MCB, the MCB has been totally painted clean. It doesn't have anything. We can do whatever we want. And if we like it better here, where you actually see them, which is so much more important than the 4 frames that you see them on here, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't know from the like if they are thinking too much about where the treatment goes, like the cups have to be kept there only or something.
Oh no, I've seen the director. I've seen the director with these things all over his whole neck and his cheek and his back. It's everywhere.
Okay, it's nothing specific, right?
No, and I would no, I wouldn't worry about it. Let's make it look pleasing for us.
Yeah, we can move it.
Yeah, so Prashi, just make them look pretty, and you have one of them that's rotating.
Yeah.
It's the middle one that's rotating.
Yeah, that I need to take care of.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah.
Spinning.
The spinning, yeah. Need to take care of that.
I like it.
Yeah, this was just to start the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, so Prashi, I don't think you need to have your arms up. You're just finally getting up to the top of that ladder or those boxes. So you would just be, the camera had been up high looking at us as we got up. You're just still getting up on those boxes.
Okay.
And in the next shots, we'll start seeing him do this. You just are walking up there, climbing, walking, standing, and just being there without a lot of big body structure. And start to breathe in. I think you could start showing some heaving, some deep breath. That would be really good. But you're just like contemplatively standing there. It's in other shots where he slowly starts to do this kind of stuff. Okay?
Cool. I just have that for today.
Yeah, okay, cool. So this is the first time this 130 is the first time he looks down at his hands.
Okay.
So this is the first time he would have been bringing those hands up under the mask. Okay, so your 140 doesn't get hands up. That's all.
Okay.
All righty, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Vonnie? You keeper of animators, you?
Hi, Ruth. Hi, Jeetu.
Hi.
Hi, Greg.
Hello.
So you saw a lot of DFDs, got approved today?
Yeah, and I had notes on RSVs.
Oh yeah, the
160
RSVs are
and
pretty
200.
simple. We can talk about those.
Yeah.
Let's see, RSV 41 was good, 20 was good, 140 was good, so was 160. That note was pretty clear I think.
Yeah.
They're wanting us to go back. You remember when I used to have you raise your hand just before the cage went up?
Yes.
So that's all they're doing is going back to that now. You don't bring up your hand until you see this pan is heading off and the cage starts floating up. Holy mackerel. Hey, Lily, one question. Excuse me, guys. If we were looking at this from a floor view, this is the brick wall.
This is the brick wall.
Okay. You understand this is pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Just to bring your hand up later to cue that. That's all. Like we used to. That's the only note you have. In 200, we're still waiting on a plate that they say they're going to give us by the end of the week, but one should not hold one's breath.
Is the new plate going to change the shot, or is it just?
It does. It changes the shot in the sense of when the alien looks at either guy, because their timing is simply different. It's another version of this, exactly the same shot, but their performances are slightly offset. It's not a big deal. So right now, if Vonnie is looking to the left at frame 79 and to the right at frame 150, it could be look to the left at 62 and look to the right at 140. So the boys are basically doing the same thing.
Okay.
And so, Vonnie, there's no real sense in dealing with 200 until then.
Yeah, it's supposed to final next Friday.
Well, they're supposed to give us a plate. We've asked for it a couple of times. They keep promising it'd be coming before the end of the year.
We haven't even received the plate, so that there's no way that that shot is going to be done.
Well, that would be my thought.
But otherwise, it looks like we can get everything else done. So
Yeah, for sure. So this is the plate that we have. Oh no, this is the new plate. There it is, RSB 5200. So the plate has been brought into a QuickTime version, but there's no, I don't see this as being scans and EXRs and tracked. I don't know. You're looking in Shotgun somewhere to see what this is?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at something completely different. Sorry.
Curtains at West Elm?
No. I wish. I'm looking at the alien on the electrical wire.
Oh. G2?
Yeah.
Is there any way that you could tell whether or not RSB 5200 is now actually a workable shot for animation? Or is it just they put it in the cut because they have the edit?
Yeah, that must be in the editorial, but yeah, let me check.
We are still waiting the scan from client.
Right. So so here's the only difference is, and you can see this, Vonnie, it's not much. They just have a slightly different look. Your alien's going to do exactly what your alien does now, with the exception of this added note that they want you to stare harder at Young Mao.
Okay.
It'll be nothing for you. When you get a plate, it'll be nothing for you to do it. I promise.
Okay. Actually, the track is also coming in, so this placement of his hands would be a little different, I guess.
I would imagine, yeah.
So that's it, yeah.
But your performance is going to change very little.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else?
I worked on the GSC 202.
So notice in the director's cut, it looks like you're trying to match it pretty well. But what you've ended up with that he's not quite doing is random hand motions. You look like you're doing the cha-cha-cha.
Yeah.
Versus he's going, don't hit me again. I know he's got one arm moving, but the other one is pretty stable.
Okay.
Just get those hands to not do.
Okay. Yeah.
And all Ruth is thinking of is, I need a new piece of editorial software for my sizzle reel.
That the one that you were saying is really good, the fusion.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you because you're going to be mean to me.
Imagine how long it would take to go through every dailies to try to find those.
Yeah, you think? You think I don't do that when these guys send me 4 hours and like 16 versions of 4 hours when they're sitting there And mostly what I got is the director doing this.
That's what they pay you the big bucks for.
Yeah. Yeah. And by like hour 17, my brain is just like pouring out of my ears. It's like scrubbing, looking for the one little gem. And their time code is like, it's somewhere, it's a moment between hour 1 and hour 47. You can't remember. So anyway, Vonnie, are you cool with this? It's just a matter of getting the hands need to not be like that. That's all.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. You get to also be a little bit more frantic. He's still floaty a little bit in there.
Okay.
So, you know, it's your linear speed across here. That can have all kinds of texture, a nice sharp start of it, or an acceleration on the way out. You know, I think you probably want to respect a little bit more what's going on with the plate. He raises that whip. That ought to, you know, be a big scary moment for you. That will cause a spike in your performance. So he's staring here. He's pointing at you. You're starting to get out, and he pulls this whip on you, and that is like you ought to really notice that and make a beeline. You know, get out of there, or you know, start to get out.
Okay.
It actually looks like Gung Hao is looking kind of like one alien behind you, by the way. So maybe by this point in this shot, you could be over here.
Okay.
You know, maybe you go from where you are now to here at the moment that he pulls that whip out or raises the whip up.
Okay.
That would be a good plan.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
And the other thing too is you have a bunch of kind of pleasing eye darts and a blink. I think you ought to be a little bit more what's a good word for it? A little bit more pushing back in attitude, a little bit more attitude-y in your face. You know, a little bit more squinting, a little bit more, you know, I'm really angry. You know, something that doesn't look quite so pissed off. I mean, quite so sad or whipped. He looks like a wimp. I think he can still go like this and get back and get out of there, but he can have a look on his face, which is, I'm not going to give up me being in charge and me being a badass. And I'm going to look at you, and now you're with me, and I hate you. I hate you even more. Don't hit me again, but I'm going to get out of here. I'm still angry with you. You know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
A little bit more crunch in your brow, a little bit more staring right at Gung Hao.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to get the GFC out of here too. A number of them, at least by Friday, and this will definitely be one of them. It looks really great. It's going to be a good shot. Anything else for you?
No, that's it.
Cool. And then you're leaving on vacation with Mel and everybody else at the same time. You guys are all going to Bali.
Georgia said she's going hiking.
Yeah.
Georgia?
Not Georgia on my mind. The other Georgia in close to Russia, I'm sure you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I figured. Well, it sounds lovely. We're all going to be expecting lots of photographs.
Yeah, sure.
But I think it's starting to work. Like it feels much more humanoid, which is what we're going for, right?
Yeah, it feels less, he feels more like himself. Yeah.
I just wish that we had a little bit more time. So I guess what I'm trying to work on is trying to make him feel like he's being quiet and sneaky.
Right.
And so the too much of these feet and hands is not making it feel like that. But then at the same time, if I make him too slidey, he'll start to feel reptile-y again.
Right. And is that plate popping up, or is that you? Are you white panning this?
No, that's there.
Wow, that speed change is really weird.
You know, I know you want a Y pan on it as well.
No, I don't care. I didn't know whether or not it would help you a lot.
Oh, because at the beginning we're missing his head, or is that okay?
Well, the shot, I don't think it's probably fine.
Okay.
I was just looking at the speed up that speed ramp, and the camera is just bizarre. Yeah. It feels fake.
And then the ladder shakes as well, so we need to get a match move for it.
I don't know. I think this doesn't feel right. That looks like a artificial camera move.
Look at the previous version and see if it was there, because I was messing around with the camera today, so maybe I did something.
Nope, it's there. I went back 2 versions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just keep going. Have you got any ideas on this? Like, so there is one issue where the space in between is really small for his head to get through because he's high up on it in there.
Yeah.
I'm sort of scooching his head down, but it's probably going through the back of the ladder a bit.
Right.
We can probably fake that.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah.
And if you were on your tippy toes here, if you were to be on your tippy toes at the very end, you would get his eyes clear of that ladder rung.
Yeah, I thought putting him on his tippy toes might be fun because it would hook up more into the position of the neck shot as well.
And it really kind of says reaching and sneaking.
Yeah. So there, see his hand is up as high as...
Right.
Yeah, so, or his head is high there, so I could try to get him to tiptoe up.
Yeah, I would do tippy toes there. That'd be great. I would say no, you don't have to do any white pan until they say they want to see more face, because it is an interesting shot. You know, it's odd. Just everybody's feet at first. And we really do want to see you drop down, so I think it's kind of okay. And if you can just show us a little bit of the tiptoes here, just as you're about to go under frame, under the mask, that'd be super.
Wait a minute, what? Oh, tiptoes. Oh, yeah, the fact that, well, you want him to stand up tall there? He's kind of scooching down to get underneath.
No. I think that's all fine. But as he's just going by the frame, like right now, I think then that's when he goes up on his toes.
Okay.
See if you can show us him going on his toes.
Okay, I can try. I thought normally it's like when your heel gets pulled off by your leg straightening that it would come up. But,
right.
But maybe we can roll him up onto his toes early.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm not being clear. I don't mean that you should show him coming up on his toes.
Okay.
But before we get too far, we need to show that he's not just stretching, that he's actually got the mechanics of going up on his toes. Yeah. And then this one will end up changing when the shot returns.
I mean, these shots are really haven't been worked on.
They're all over the place. But no, yours is looking fine. It feels more him than anything you've had, so it's good.
Oh yeah, this. We should look at this in the cut because it's so dependent on what's going on around it.
Yeah, definitely.
We're kind of missing the walk a bit. Like that feeling of him walking forward, I think. I just didn't want to spend ages and ages on it today. I wanted to just at least get something up. It's trying to hook it up to that where he's still slightly hunched over in Melanie's shot.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what? You could easily start with your first frame being at your pose at 114,
yeah.
214.
And then use a little bit more, get a little bit more of him moving forward at the end.
Yeah, it's just a few frames, but it'll be enough.
Now, do you think I should have both of his feet flat on the ground, like more assertive rather than having that toe kind of heel coming off hesitant thing in that foot? Or does that lead into him walking?
Well, you have to put a mask on because I think it's under the mask.
Oh yeah, I should put the mask on.
He looks like he's going to be under the mask.
Yeah.
And this might need a big white pan as well because when the mask is on, you're cutting his head off too. So we might need to bring the top of the plate all the way to the bottom of your upper mask.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's look at I'll put the masks on.
And then you're not going to have any problem with your feet.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
And then back to Sam is good to go. So it's not a big deal for you.
So should I do her facial expression a bit in mine as well? I think it might look cool to have that thing.
Do you have time to actually strike that pose so that we can see the transition in your shot happen? Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. That might be cool. I vote yes.
The only other thing I was concerned about is like, should we be clearer that he's looking at the headband in this shot? So it used to be really clear that his head kind of looked at it, but does that feel like he's looking at it?
It's subtle. You have to look for it.
So I think I might work on just getting a head direction change.
You need like 2 frames to help that.
Well, his eyes go down to it there, and I think before I had him stand up and he was looking up and then his eyes darted and then his head went down.
Right.
So I might put that back in.
Well, so I'm saying that you could start your first pose at like 10, 14, or 15, which would buy you 5 frames.
Yeah. You know, the problem with Melanie's shot is that he stops moving at the end of her shot. So it just feels like he comes up and he's stopping completely. And
that's okay. We'll adjust Melanie's shot.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Or if it doesn't bother you. I don't know how picky they're going to be about the hookups.
The director doesn't like him. He doesn't believe in continuity. He doesn't believe in lots of filmmaking techniques. But
I'm not a big fan of being really picky about them either, because in live action they don't.
Right. But Advisor Shoe, that's all he pays attention to. Like and I can do this, if only we had the ability to just type in, here, edit, exit on frame, whatever.
So nice, wouldn't it? Well, you could.
We're not going through a bunch of rigmarole.
Forbade me from doing it.
Yeah, it's just a big pain in the ass. Obviously, I can export this as a QuickTime movie, and we can see that this fast. You want to see it that fast?
Sure.
It's MCA, correct?
Yeah.
I love the fact that the first thing is BYC in the MCA.
Yeah.
One moment, please. Has to load the cut from the shotgun, the grips of shotgun. Hello.
Oh, Jishu's still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always here.
Okay, so that's working fine, just using translations for that constraint. I don't know why I didn't catch that. So, thank you. So I will try. But to make that work, I have to get the global underneath the alien. I can't have it at the origin. So we have to run our record animation. But I'll do another recording for Rakesh so he can see that way of doing it too. And he can do it either way.
Yeah. Yeah, but you were also planning to parent constrain the global only, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, reposition he'll have to do. And Rakesh is familiar with the reposition. He has written the cog. He has written that cog tool which we use, RC tools.
He did?
That's his script we are using.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so funny. Yeah, I love that thing. Well, I have a MG Tools one that I use as well. That's similar. But
Yeah.
What's
I have a
going on with
request from
RGB?
him. Sorry?
Sorry, I was just asking what's going on with RGB tools, Eric's Vittlin.
Oh, RGB notes, I don't know. It seems
They were planning to integrate it.
Yeah, they were supposed to integrate it into Shotgun so that we would be using it instead of, I guess, or you know, where you have RV and screening room, that it would be there to use as a plugin. But I don't know why they're so slow to get that working, because it seems like that would be their big move forward with it.
I actually don't know what Eric's has done, to tell you the truth.
I use it for my teaching, and the students absolutely love it.
So what is it actually?
It's like Eve, the sketch tools in Eve. So you can leave a whole load of sketches on individual frames.
Yeah.
And notes on it, and and then you can actually play through and see the sketches as you play through the movie.
I actually think it was Eric's who wrote that for Shotgun. I mean, for Eve, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so. I was one of the guys who wanted that because I was constantly trying to draw things, and we were using like Citizen because that worked nicely in that software. And Eric's on one of the Night in the Museums. I think he's the one who ran off and made that work, which is cool.
Eve.
Imagine if you had more frames of that, right? I've taken a lot of frames from you, you know, but just standing there is a good way to go. You don't need to get up anymore.
Okay, and then I'll have more of him walking forward.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try that. And then the other BYA, have you got any other inspiration on it, or should I just keep doing whatever?
You mean coming around the ladder?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I wish you had more frames to get under there and then look and then think about it and then see.
But
you have been working on this.
What?
you have been working on this for a while. Not you, I mean the character has been working on this for a while, this concept of getting the shot, getting the headband. So it's not like, we really need to show this brand new concept.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if you still had those extra frames, which you're not going to get. So.
I mean, if I have him go around the ladder faster, then it starts to feel light and...
No, it's good. You have the pacing is really nice now.
Okay.
I think you get his head up, his eyes up above the rail. That would be very helpful. Scale him up by 1.137%.
Oh, there's already a note on scaling the world in this because he was absolutely tiny when I first opened it up. So right now he's 1.23, which is a massive scale. And there's a ticket for Rangesh to fix it.
Hey, what about this, Ruth? What if your left hand, you come around the turn, and you take your hand off that rail? What if it just goes straight up?
Oh yeah, that's the kind of thing I was thinking I should try to do so that I don't. The only thing is then he'll have a moment where both hands are off. Or I guess I could wait until he's balanced. I could keep the other hand there.
Yeah, I think the other hand, all you really have to do is raise the other hand up for the initial pose. If this hand was just up here, which is easy to do, doesn't change anything for you.
Well, I don't know where it comes from prior to that, but...
Well, he starts down here, right?
Yeah. And then
when he reaches around, he just grabs up higher.
Yeah, that would work.
And then you hold it there. There's no reason why it can't stay, here. Your hand now would just be here.
Yeah, that'll be much better because it'll get rid of this. There's too many crabs.
Right. And so you've got this thing. And if you could just put your hand up a lot earlier, that left hand up a lot earlier.
That would look much sneakier then.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. Yep, that's what we'll do.
All righty, sneaky.
Good, thank you.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Okay, kids.
Okay, have a good night.
They said they didn't want the snake hand gesture.
Yeah, that's what I thought the last round of comments were like. We had suggested the Duncan Master and then the leg pose gone, and then the nunchuck to be extended till the end. Then they said no, we don't want that. The director liked it, the leg pose, and they are okay with the no snake action.
Yeah, I'm gonna send an email to
Yeah, and if you can, I didn't find that comment somewhere, but yeah, I remember that comment. So if you can quote them with that dates comment, you all had agreed to this. That doesn't mean anything to them, but yeah.
But every time I do that, they say, Craig, you just have to stop thinking about what we said last time. Everything you do the day before, we tell you have to ignore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to confirm that it's coming from the devil's mouth, like
I don't know.
Or not.
Yeah, I don't know who that would be, but I totally get what you're asking. And what would we do? Okay, I will write this and we'll see what they say. I'll CC you on it as well.
Sure.
So you would get an immediate note back, I think.
Yeah, I saw the notes as Vista was putting it in yesterday.
Okay. So let's say that they want the snake hand gesture thing, this thing back in.
Yeah.
That doesn't concern me. It's just animation, and I can put it back in my cut, and that'll be super easy for you. The problem is, for me, the concern is the foot up, like you say. Anyway, I'll get clarity on it. Okay, you don't have to wait on for this.
And CSA 30 I worked yesterday on.
Oh,
Like,
you want
it's
that?
still, yeah, it's still not, those comments are not addressed, but I got a track update. So I tried to fit in that action into the track. I have to raise a ticket for the shutter not matching to the
Yeah.
BG plate, and then the handle which you asked for, like grabbing the handle and pulling it out. So I fixed the according to the new scale of the track. I fixed the other aspects.
CSA 30. How come it's Gail Harlow? 511.
You have sorting, yeah.
Still, Gail.
Just click on that date created on the right side.
What the hell's going on? I fucking hate this software. Hey, Minhui, you know you don't have to hang out for this.